Alright. Welcome to the Strange Sky Project. As you may have noticed, the footage that I have playing on screen is actually from a previous video I did. It's from a video called A New Year, A New Sky Game. In that, I took the footage you see now, right here on the left, that raw footage, slow it down frame by frame, and zoom in, and we get the astonishing, shape-shifting, colorful creature you see here. Well, during that video I also mentioned that the catalyst for me getting this footage was the moon or a moon-like object, as you will see. In that video I also mentioned that I would go back and do an analysis and do a breakdown of all the little anomalies and the strange occurrences we will notice in the upcoming footage. One thing I do want to mention is that for as weird as this entity, this shape-shifting creature is, the footage of the moon or moon-like object that I'm about to show you may be just as strange and anomalous and weird and out there as this entity, if not more. It displays so many, I guess the best word for it is just odd and unbelievable characteristics. So with that being said, here it is. Enjoy that footage, and we'll break it down and do the analysis in a minute. Thanks. You see, the moon is up in the sky, but it doesn't even look that far away from me. If I had to guess, it would probably be somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 feet in the air. It's almost like an optical illusion, the same way that a big object can seem small if it's very far away. A smaller object can seem big if it's very close. That's probably the most astonishing part of that footage right there, when actually a part of the moon seems to separate from itself and create almost two standing isolated figures. If at times it seems a little weird and far-fetched right now, don't worry, we're going to get into it, and be sure to slow it down and zoom in just like we did with the previous footage that you're seeing right here. And hopefully all your questions and your concerns and ideas will be answered by that. So what we're seeing right here is the first anomaly of this footage. When we increase the pretty much exposure and bring everything into a lighter gamma spectrum, we notice a ring around the moon about the size of the moon. And even though the moon doesn't appear to be in its normal circular shape, even its half dome shape that we notice later on in the video, it seems to be in a full, almost fully formed diamond shape for a period of time. Now, initially I thought this was due to camera focus adjustment, something that I later learned cannot be accounted for that, especially with the abnormal dark hue ring around the moon that follows no consistent guidelines with what we're seeing. Here's another anomaly here. We get actual blur from the moon's movement. As you see, when the moon moves, or whatever that is moves, it leaves behind almost a splotchy kind of smear on the background of the sky. This is another strange anomaly here. It seems to be my best guess, to be some kind of I don't know, best describe it as a bug, creature, entity, thing that's actually wrapped itself around that dark hue that I mentioned before. It's not even around the structured edge of the moon. Now, besides these anomalies, the most important thing that I wanted to get to was what I mentioned earlier, and that was the separation. I want you to take a really good look at this separation from a couple different viewpoints, a couple different angles, and a couple different filters to really bring out the different changes in color changes in shape, and notice that it's not a reflection of any type. That this has its own independent movement of the initial object. Wow. That can only best be described as absolute chaos with that kind of filter. Watch closely. See how the color changes just on the separate object? If this was a camera problem or an artifact of any kind or a reflection of any kind, a dramatic color change wouldn't apply to just one of the two objects in question. Notice here a huge anomaly. That almost looks like a dog in my opinion, but I welcome any comments to what exactly that thing was. Notice off to the right of the moon, depending on how big your tree in size, but it's a good size away, probably about 10 of the lengths of the size of the moon away to the right. Yeah, you see right there, the moving object reflects the same type of movement and same type of creature that we not only did the video on previously, but reflects the same type of creature that we notice at the end of this video, or at the second segment of it, that we catch spinning and whipping itself in the sky. Now this, believe it or not, is where the footage gets weird. I'm going to do my best job to explain what I think is going on and what I see here. I fully understand that many people will not want to or be able to grasp the same type of observation that I'm able to get. But it's worth seeing all the same. And even if you aren't able to get to where I'm at with my interpretation of it, if you get to just the interpretation that something's off and something's wrong and something is definitely strange with it, that's leaps and bounds above most people who choose to ignore just the anomalies that we see day to day in the sky. So what I see happening here is this object, which appears to be the moon, especially to the naked eye, and when it's not, recorded through a digital camera, it's actually not the moon. This is what is best to be described as an archon, or a group of archons, part of the Gnostic culture's perception of demonic entities from different dimensions. What they're able to do is mimic many things, and one of the things they're able to mimic is the moon. That's why you see so many different ever-changing entities that move at such an outrageous pace that it comes across as shapes. They operate outside of the time continuum that we live in this dimension. So whatever dimension they are from, if they are able to bleed through, which is becoming more and more evident, we're seeing it all around the globe. And if you need more proof, I'll be happy to direct some people to where you can find more information on that. But if they are able to do that and bleed through, it wouldn't be too much and too far-fetched to actually apply different rules and characteristics to that dimension that would influence not only their structure and stature, but also their ability to convey images through the manipulation of both light and shadow. Now I know that was a mouthful, and I could definitely run on my sentences, and it can seem very complicated, but I just want to convey that there's actual objects moving here, and those objects are resembling structured entities, and those entities are interacting with something in our field of vision. I ask everybody who's watching this, try to pinpoint one side of the moon, either top left, bottom left, top right, or bottom right. You get a good view right there when I change the filter there that it is a structure out there in the sky, and it's not something that's happening in the camera. But to pick one of those sides and focus in on it, and kind of zero in and watch as close as you can and see what the thing or things that are occupying that area are doing. I really would like to get people's opinions on what they see. Even if they see something and they, are unwilling to make the jump to them being actual entities, but maybe even, they're still stuck on the idea that it's an artifact in the camera. I'm still interested in knowing what people are seeing there, because it's not flat blank space. There is flat blank space, especially to the top, the bottom, and the upper left and upper right corners of the object, and even between the two objects. As you see there is a sliver of blank space, but in the areas that I'm pointing out here, that is not blank space. That is occupied by something, and that something is what I challenge everyone out there to help me define. If we slow it down, we can almost see the moon, or the archonic moon, reacting to those different entities in those different spaces. The bottom sliver of that object is pulling away, and it's moving at its own speed, as you see, and moving in contrary movements to the initial object it's separating from. You can also very clearly define a different color in that object, and different color offshoots of the now half bowl-ish type moon, which, by the way, never occurs in nature. If anything, it's a half moon from either the left and the right, with the angular flat part going down the center of the moon, not from top to bottom. One can even make the case that they see things swimming in a bowl-type feature of that object. Now, if this isn't weird enough, and our visual perception of little critters or beings or entities, whatever they may be, that are constantly shape-shifting and coming up with new appearance, and are trying to grab onto, jump onto, or pull things off of this object, that's not enough. I suggest that you travel with me even farther down into the rabbit hole and get a closer look right here and start trying to discern the facial features of these things and what they convey through that medium. It's a lot to handle, and trust me, I'm the first one to admit that this world is a lot more complex and stranger than I first thought. But hey, this is what it is, this is what I captured, and this is what I'm here to discover with everyone out there. So, with that being said, thank you for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this, even if it was a momentary, skip of a heartbeat. But yeah, I think it's progress that we are able to share and try to find some answers together. So thanks a lot. Keep watching. Tell everybody you know to subscribe. One of my videos actually did get some viral kind of play on another channel. That'd be great if we could do that for this channel too. Get some of the word out, and yeah. Just want to say thank you so much to everyone and all the support they're giving and all their input, and let's keep on moving. I got a lot more to show, so stay tuned. This is the one and only, the always coming authentic, always have a new breakthrough video and footage for the audience, the ultra special, the kindest, the gentlest, and hopefully the coolest and most enjoyable, entertaining channel on the market, the Strange Sky Project. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.